It has been assigned the name of chronic fatigue syndrome, which is a very misleading name. 30 to 40% of the American public is tired, and they say, oh, well, then maybe I have chronic fatigue syndrome. This illness has nothing to do with regular tiredness. What I consider the most important symptom in the disability of the illness, it's a type of weakness where when you are standing, you become lightheaded, you become worse in terms of pain, and the exhaustion becomes such that you just can't stay standing up. Because of that symptom, people are unable to sustain activity for more than a short period of time. The pain symptoms are extraordinarily interesting. Everything hurts, but nothing is wrong. Now, what I mean by that is the joints hurt, but you go to the rheumatologist say, there are no signs of inflammation. Your joints are just fine. Your eyes hurt, and you go to the ophthalmologist, and you can't see because everything's so bright. But the ophthalmologist will say, no, your eyes are just fine. Your head hurts, you've got a terrible headache, you've got stomach pain, irritable bowel. And so that there is a generalized pain component which is different from the broken bone kind of pain. And that pain varies from person to person, but it can be incredibly uncomfortable. The cognitive symptoms have been studied extensively. It has to do with verbal processing, the ability to double task. For example, as just a very simple screening test, when somebody begins to tell their story, and I, as a physician, take my pen and go like that, it disrupts them so much that they become lost. And that's part of the cognitive problem of this illness. If you're a straight A student and you get this illness, you can't do the material because of the cognitive symptoms. We know our patients. If you see a patient who is an A student who is now bedridden, you know that this is not a behavioral thing. Years ago, I wrote a paper where I said that, in my opinion, the worst symptom of this illness was disbelieving an adolescent who is so sick they can't play with their friends. And that causes such damage that there are many teenagers who never recover from that. And I've seen this. I know them now as adults. They've just never gotten over it, especially when that happens within a family.
I just started my sophomore year in high school. I remember it was a Friday and I woke up with the feeling like I guess the best way to describe it is like I'd been hit by a car. I had an awful migraine and I couldn't get myself out of bed, and I just kind of felt some kind of like mono or some kind of the flu, but after a few weeks it didn't really go away, and at that point I had stopped going to school because I couldn't keep functioning and I couldn't study, I couldn't read at that point, and within the next few weeks I started getting more pain and I lost hearing in my ear and I was beginning to lose my voice. It was really raspy in the beginning, and after a few months, January or February, it seemed like it was the breaking point, and then the next few days I stopped being able to walk completely and I started getting seizures and everything went downhill. I want to get better and I want to go back to school and find out what I want to do as a career, and I want to keep traveling and I want to go swimming again and do all the things that most people take for granted, like taking a real shower and going down the stairs and going out to see a movie.